Hey, good evening. My name is Brandon with Flight Track Live. Here's what flight travelers need to know about today's weather impacts. According to the FAA Daily Air Traffic Report, afternoon thunderstorms have triggered ground delay programs at major hubs, including New York, which includes JFK, LaGuardia, and Liberty. Boston, Chicago, Atlanta, Charlotte, Denver, and Florida airports are also experiencing delays due to weather related concerns. Low ceilings and the sky are also affecting visibility and delays at San Francisco, LAX, and San Diego, according to FAA.gov. And meanwhile, FlightAware confirms over 7,000 flights were delayed in the U.S. as of this evening, driven by the heat fueled storm formation across the southeast and Midwest and all the heat advisories that have been happening. It has put a stop to a lot of the ground operations and folks that are working on the ground due to the extreme heat. So we have seen those delays, and that's according to FAA.gov, and that is happening across the country tonight. So, welcome to Flight Track Live, where we bring you the most update current travel news and try to get you something in the mornings, in the midday, and the evening. We're also going to be going live here shortly as we're continuing to expand this YouTube channel. So, welcome to the channel. Get on here and subscribe if you haven't already. Like us, get the bell notification, and follow what we're doing because we're going to try to help you get the most updated flight information on a daily basis. And I want to help people out, traveling for business, for vacation, whatever it may be. I just want to make sure you have the information and you understand what's happening across the country, live as it's happening. So we're going to shift over to travel news. So here's what's happening nationwide right now. Severe storms in certain areas across the country did put some ground stops and cancellations on airports and major hubs, and it did affect travel in airports outside of where the storms are at. So airports like Newark, LaGuardia, Boston, Charlotte, and Atlanta did experience some delays today for sure, and it was due to some storms in other hubs across the country. So, for example, LaGuardia experienced around 148 delay events and 10 cancellations due to the low visibility and storm cells that were happening across the country, and that was according to travelandtourworld.com. Airport delay rates remain elevated at LaGuardia, continuing to perform poorly this summer for some reason, but they've had an approximate 5.1% cancellation rate, which is up about 65% from last year, and that's according to CBSNews.com. So airlines including American, United, Southwest, Hawaiian, and Alaska have activated what's called a fee-free travel waiver, which is valid through August 3rd, and that is for the passengers who have been affected by today's disruptions and last night's disruptions with that 8.8 magnitude earthquake that was out by Russia, which then caused a domino effect of tsunami warnings up and down the west coast, Hawaii, Alaska, parts of Canada, and then international travel that was affected over in places like Japan and countries over there. So they did initiate a fee-free travel waiver. So if you were affected by one of the flights from American, United, Southwest, Hawaiian, or Alaskan Airlines, definitely go on your app, get with your flight, and check and see if you're eligible for that free travel waiver. It is valid through August 3rd, so definitely act on that as it's good through this Sunday. That is the latest travel news that's happening around the world. So here's what you need to know. Travelers, you should definitely prioritize tonight checking your airline flight status before you leave, as we've had over 7,000 confirmed delays nationwide since last night and today, according to FlightAware.com. So make sure you're checking your airline flight status before you leave, just to make sure your plane has not been delayed or switch gates or whatever the situation may be. Avoid the late evening departures if possible, because flight disruptions risk after 3 p.m. are definitely increasing as the day travels on. More flights were delayed in the morning, which causes delays in the afternoon and evening. So if you can, avoid booking those flights late for departures. Definitely get on your app though and check and see if you got the option to use a waiver policy to rebook your flights without any penalty, valid through August 3rd, with most of the airline companies here in the United States. Stay away from the coastal areas right now, because they've been having all these issues with the tsunami warnings and cautions up and down the coast. There's still some warnings and watches out there tonight across the West Coast, and definitely pay attention to that. So I would just try to probably stay away from coastal areas for the next day or so, just until all that settles down a little bit. There's going to be a lot of gridlock, people that were trying to get out that couldn't, with canceled flights and so forth. So if you don't have to go, I probably wouldn't for at least a couple of days. If you do have to go, I would definitely pack light right now, because these airlines are filling these planes up as they become available to start flying again. So the simpler baggage you have reduces your hold up time, delays, and rerouting for sure. So definitely take a look at that, guys. Well, let's take a look real quick at what it looks like tomorrow for your travel and what you can expect. So I'm going to pull up the map here right now. This is current live radar right now across the United States tonight here at 10:35 p.m. Central Standard Time tonight, and I'm using the handy dandy WeatherWise app. WeatherWise is an awesome app. It is free to download, and you should definitely use it. It gives you all your up-to-date warnings, statuses, storms across the country, live radars, and the cool feature here, it gives us the opportunity to look at the outlooks. So today, this was the outlook. We were having general risk of storms across parts of the country, mainly up in the northwest, and then across the central plains, and then down into the southeast. But the big storm marginal risk today was across the mountain states in Wyoming and Colorado. And then we had a little bit of a marginal risk over in Kansas today. So looking ahead to tomorrow, we can see here it's going to be pretty general risk across the country, mainly down in the south, central, and then northwest, looking at potential for general risk. And then once again in the mountain states, Wyoming and Colorado, looking at those marginal risk for storm chances. And then over on the east coast, around the DC area, you're looking at a marginal risk for storms tomorrow. And then on day 3, so coming up on Friday, we're looking at just pretty much a general risk across the country, mainly in the southeast, central, and then up in the northwest again, but nothing too horribly concerning or pressing over the next couple of days. So it should ease up travel plans. So here's what you can expect on July 31st. It looks like a cooler front or a cold front may reduce storm activity inland, but afternoon thunderstorms remain possible across most central and eastern U.S. On the Pacific coast, there's still tsunami warnings, but they have been downgraded for Oregon and Washington State. However, up in Northern California coast, around the Crescent City area, remains on high alert with the possibility of 3 to 4 foot waves recorded overnight, and that's according to most news outlets like CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, and so forth. So everybody's reporting on that. There's still a chance for some higher wave activity tonight, so pay attention if you're around the Crescent City area on the Northern California coast. Hawaii tsunamis warnings have been downgraded as well. They're now just to an advisory late Tuesday. The evacuation orders were lifted and flights have resumed with minimal disruption. The initial waves reached about 5 to 6 feet, according to CNN, Fox News, and CBS. So definitely pay attention if you're out in the Hawaii area. And if you're flying anywhere on the west, just expect some delays because travel has now resumed, but there was a lot of people that were hung up because of the tsunami warnings yesterday and that 8.8 magnitude earthquake out by Russia. So lastly, guys, if you like what we're doing here, then, this is what we're doing. This is your Flight Track Live update for July 30th, 2025 here at 10:40 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we're going to go daily with insights on flight delays, weather disruptions, alerts that are happening, such as the tsunami alert that just happened yesterday and today. We'll give you updates on travel advisories. So please hit subscribe, like, turn on that notification, share our channel out. We want to keep you informed so you can stay safe and travel effectively. We will definitely catch you tomorrow as we have some more videos. We'll be going live here soon. So keep an eye out on our channel. Pay attention. We'll try to give you the most updated travel advisories as they are happening across the country. I hope you all have a great night. We will see you soon. Thanks for watching Flight Track Live.